Such a pleasant chamber this is. My be-all and end-all. So light and luxurious. Quite different from the rooms I frequented afore. Dark as the grave. Black as the secret branded upon my very being. Oh, I can hide it no longer. It singes my soul. Perchance if I confess its devilish sting will subside. You have been deceived, dearest dragon. For you have married a princess, destined for decay. Not mine is the holy perpetuity of the bone. A malicious malady mangles my marrow. Thus I have been punished by the Seven. So say the priests of the skeleton spire. Though for what insidious infraction I know not. They have forbidden me to seek a cure. For to do so would be to defy the decrees of the divines. But now that I am here, my love, here with you aboard this wondrous raven, I hope I may as yet counter the cancer that consumes me. You'll stand by me, won't you, my love? I long to banish the blight that burdens my body, but I cannot dispel it alone. My moon and sun, joyous tidings. I have not half the time hence it takes my hourglass to void its life. Parlayed with an imp of wise and cryptic nature, a shaman widely idolized among his kind. He has ensured me he can concoct a brew laced with ingredients of most mystic fancy that will drive the sickness from my bones, much like a single burst of your mighty fire breath would cleanse a kobold-cluttered lair. And yet, apprehension doth beset me. Caution stays my hand. Should I not witness first the broth's effect on one of a more robust and steady disposition? An orc, say, a creature, so I am told, that could bed the Black Death itself and greet the morn unscathed. I shall, my love, I shall. And nascent hope is nurturing within me. Let us pray to the Seven it will not emerge stillborn. May the reverend shaman's word prove to be as true as the trust I bestow upon his talents. More than my convalescence alone now depends upon his abilities. The very life of another being lies in the balance. Oh, my heart and soul. How I have prayed for your swift return. Never should I have allowed desperation to trump circumspection. I am entirely to blame for what has happened. The imp's potion. Seven bless us. One might as well apply magma to alleviate sunburn. The wretched orcs, forced to partake in the drinking of what they presumed was tea, drank instead the heartless herald of decay. Afore my very eyes they began to bleed from every orifice, became ghouls ensnared in untellable agony, until mere puddles of putrid matter bore witness to their horrid demise. And yet their souls remain, hovering helplessly upon capricious currents like ephemeral jewels evoked from stardust. Therefore, my love, if you allow for a moment a selfish turn of thought, know these souls may spell my salvation. I have been told that by means of magic or machinery, they may be given refuge in a new dwelling, be it made of meat or metal. The prospect is eminently exciting, for I too might benefit from one such transference, and come to inhabit a body void of disease. What do you say, my earth and sky? What do you say? Shall we put these orcish souls to the test? Though I have come to dread the ramifications induced by impish machinations, I must concede to your wishes when confronted with your will and wisdom. How very rapidly this one debacle tossed us in the maelstrom of surreal dimensions. Soon, strange souls will inhabit stranger contraptions for a quaff of lurid liquor. Oh, my sky and clouds! May the Seven forgive me if I ever spoke ill of imps, for they are truly expert engineers whose peerless blend of wonder and whimsy begets the gains of genius. Served with souls, their apparatus have become sentient and, once science permits, shall stride, function and speak with a subtle grace quite equal to that of the living. Trinculo assures me a skeleton of precious metals can be constructed, wherein my soul may be housed. So I shall, my love. Imagine, soon I may be a creature of eternity, unburdened by the shackles of sickness and atrophy, yours long as the dragon lives. I must now yield my hopes to the imps and the mechanical marvels they manufacture. May divine guidance shepherd their hands. My great love, my dawn and dusk, minister to me with thy counsel, for I am lost in the blinding mists of misgiving. Upon the very doorstep of completion I falter, encumbered by the insidious sprites of doubt and hesitation. Their incessant chatter satiates my being with pale and quiet dread. Questions, queries upon burial rise from shallow graves. In search of life, am I taunting death? In pursuit of salvation, am I to become a monster? The imps came through. You see, they have constructed a mechanical skeleton of pure gold. A feat of engineering. May Yorick never hear these words, that elevates them to the level of diminutive demigods. For if they can create such wonders, they can create worlds. And yet I shudder to think I would become that construct, that cold engine. For, gilded though it may be, what is it but a vehicle? A casket? An ambulant crypt that would hold my desolate soul? Then so be it. For with a word of the dragon the mists vanish afore my eyes, and a new-found resolution takes hold. Return to me come the dawn, my love, and you will find me another woman, if a woman still. Soon I shall drink the shaman's broth and crumble, then reawaken an imp-engineered golem. Seven, give me strength. Comfort me, my light and dark. For though I stand before thee in golden splendor, cheer flees before me like a deer wild in the woods. I but want to pet it and take comfort in its beauty. Yet with each step I take, it moves a bit further from my sight, fearing me to be a hunter, the knife held perfidiously behind my back. Perhaps you think me thankless, my love. I have, after all, cheated the gnawing cancer that was aiming for my very soul. But somehow I feel more disembodied than ever. A stranger in a strange land, certain in the knowledge that she will never be at home amongst its alien landscapes. A perennial drifter, entrapped in its wastes. The reverence with which I am received among the deathless is indeed phenomenal. It would border on blasphemy if it weren't so honest and genuine. Once more you ease my troubles, great dragon. If I am to wander across a strange land, at least I'll have you as my guide. For more, I can hardly ask. How fickle is the faith of even us undead? Long as I was built from brittle bone, accursed with blight, I was nothing short of an outcast, a sinner sanctioned by the Seven. But now that I go in golden guise, I am their paragon, the epitome of pious grace. Almost absurd, is it not? Quietly tragic. Like a child holding a dead bird, expecting it to fly off at a moment's notice. My world and stars, let me thank you again for abiding with me, so that I would learn to abide by this new incarnation of the self, Ophelia, the Golden One, chosen of the Seven. Oh, I know those of mortal means do mock my epithet, but I can still count the days upon these flaxen fingers that I would have done the same. What has changed in these mere flecks of time? Your love has remained constant, of course. A vestment snug and tender wrapped around my soul. But pride too has seen it fit to dress me. Adorn me with its imperial mantle. Each undead I pass bows its head, their empty sockets seeking the soil beneath, their spirits soaring to the Seven above. If I can finally be of service to my kin, then I am proud and satisfied. I shall be their instrument of divine love, their conduit to the gods, just as I am your instrument of worldly love. Happiness, my dragon, at last. Blessed be the Seven, for they have blessed me more than I deserve. Blessed be my great love, for you have done the same. Afore the gods I remain humble, my lord and love, as I do afore you. Yet wherever else I walk in golden splendor, sighs rise, voices hush, and tears trace trails of devotion across the cheeks of the pious. A haze of wonder arises wherever the Golden One goes. Soon shall I preach afore an audience of millions, my light and love. Speak the words of the 7 scriptures from atop the skeleton spire, where even my father, the ever-king, shall bow before me. The golden glory of the gods. And as the sun arises in golden splendor, and tears asunder the clutches of night with gilded lances, so shall rise the golden prophet and grind into oblivion the enemies of the gods. It has been written, my love. I am the one. Comfort me, my light and dark. For though I stand before thee in golden splendor, cheer flees before me like a deer wild in the woods. I but want to pet it and take comfort in its beauty. Yet with each step I take, it moves a bit further from my sight, fearing me to be a hunter, the knife held perfidiously behind my back. Perhaps you think me thankless, my love. I have, after all, cheated the gnawing cancer that was aiming for my very soul. But somehow I feel more disembodied than ever. A stranger in a strange land, certain in the knowledge that she will never be at home amongst its alien landscapes. A perennial drifter, entrapped in its wastes. Let him plague me with 1,000 sermons. If this can be done, he can take his deluded misgivings and scatter them to the winds. So much of the self lies in semblance. If a woman's aspect I can parallel, I can truly play her part, and at length, even in a strange land, my spirit can tranquilly settle. The promise alone is almost as good as the reality. Soon we shall see whether I will be the only one to recognize flesh's worth outweighs that of gold, or if others will come to appreciate that even an attempt at human beauty shall outshine this gilded glimmer. My world and stars, I have been dying for you to see me. Am I not becoming quite exquisite? A real woman in the making? No longer bare metal to behold. I am being fashioned anew with most delicate care. When a young beauty is called to the seven, her beauty is not yielded to earth or flame, but employed to dress me in the finest garment ever to have been sewn. With each fine-spun gesture of the needle, I take another stride towards perfection. The long secret dream is coming true. Not only to live, but to resemble the living. The journey towards death is at an end, my love. Let my kin curse me if they wish it. For you and I there is only bliss and perpetual passion. They must have been so beautiful. Those whose cheeks I've chartered, whose lips I've lent, whose breasts I've borrowed. May the gods guard their souls.